Okay, so this is our tattoo kit in its full. It looks very complicated at the moment, but we're going to go through each part and explain what each part does and how to successfully put together the tattoo machine. So first over here we have our tattoo power supply. Okay, this is what's going to transfer power to your tattoo machine. Behind that we have a number of cords. This is the silicone clip cord that will attach the power supply to your tattoo machine. It comes in a blue silicone material, which is very good for attaching and transferring the electricity to the machine. Okay, so over here we have our three machines. We have number one, we have our shader machine. Next we have our liner machine. And finally we have our rotary machine, which is just the job of both the liner and the shader machine. Behind that we see our range of immortal inks. Okay, these come in a range of vibrant colours, which would bring out the best of your tattoo. You need to use good quality inks in order to get the best out of your tattoo. Next to that we will see a range of tips. Okay, these serve various purposes, from lining to shading. You need to pick the right tip depending on what type of tattoo you're doing. These are a stainless steel, but sometimes they will come in a disposable plastic. Next to that we have some protective bags for both your tattoo machine and for your clip cord. Okay, these keep your equipment clean and keep it sanitary as well. Okay, next we have a bag of nipples, plastic nipples, and a bag of rubber bands. Okay, they come in a range of colours. Next we have our needles that we're using today. These are our liner needles. We have 4 of them, and our shader needles. Okay, our shader needles. Okay, so we also have here, we have a pair of protective gloves, protective latex gloves. When we're actually tattooing, we will use these. Okay, these will keep our hands clean and sanitary. But as this is just a demonstration video, I'm just going to put these to one side. Okay, but if you're actually tattooing, you must wear these gloves. We also have here a range of cups. Okay, this is what you're going to be putting your ink into when you're tattooing. We have large ones, medium ones, and finally the small cups. Okay, this is what we're going to be putting our ink into. But to start off with, the first thing we're going to need to look at is this. This is our grip. Okay, we have our grip and our tube. Okay, our upper tube. Sometimes you might find this stored inside the grip. You can just slide it out. We have these two things. Okay, so the grip here, you'll see we'll have 2 holes, one at the top and one at the bottom. Okay, we're going to take our tube and we're going to slide it into the top, maybe about 1 centimetre, it's an area and a half. And we're going to take our adjustment tool, our Allen key, and tighten that up so it doesn't move. Okay, very simple. So we are tightening this up like so. Not too tight, you don't want to break it, but you know, it's going to be secure, nice and secure. Excellent, so now we have our grip and our tube attached. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to take our tip. This is our tip that we're going to be using today. This is a 9F tip, stainless steel. This is used for shading, okay, shading. So we need to take the grip, and we're going to take take the tip, sorry, take our grip and our tube, and we're going to attach this in the same way we did our tube. So if we spin it round, we can slide it into the bottom, okay, maybe about 1 centimetre or so. And in the same fashion as before, we take our adjustment tool and we tighten that up so it's nice and secure. Okay, let me just check. There we go. So we have tightened these 2 holes with our adjustment tool, and this is our successfully put together barrel. We have our tip for shading, our grip, and our tube. Great. Just tighten that up a little bit more. Great. So this is what we will be holding when we're tattooing, okay? But first we need to slide in our needle, okay, our needle. So for the shading, we're using a 9F tip. So we need to match up our 9F tip with our shading needle, okay? So for this video we are going to use this needle here. This is our 9M needle, okay? M stands for Magnum, which is used for shading. And so we are going to take one of these needles, pop it out from the group, put the rest down, and these come in a blister pack, okay? So this is very sanitary, one-time use. We're going to undo it and carefully slide it from the pack. So when we're working with our needles, we just want to be touching this side of the needle, okay, with the loop. We never want to be touching this end because it's very sterile and this is what's going to be going into the skin. So we are going to take our barrel arrangement, we're going to hold it vertical, and then we're going to take our needle, okay, we're going to take our needle and we are going to slowly drop it through the arrangement, okay, so it goes straight through and down to the bottom, so it sits in the tip. Great. So this is our needle going through our barrel. This is going to attach to the body of the tattoo machine, which we're going to look at now. So you can put this down to one side while we take our machine. So this is a shader needle, so we're going to take our shader machine, and this is what we're going to attach the needle to. So on the machine you will see this metal nipple here, okay, on the armature bar. This is where the needle is going to attach, but first we need to put on one of our plastic nipples, okay. This is going to protect the needle and the machine. So take out one of our plastic nipples, okay, it looks like this. We're going to take our tattoo machine and we're going to slide the plastic nipple over the nipple on the armature bar. This is going to protect it from the needle as it goes back and forth. Excellent. So we have our machine with our plastic nipple. The plastic nipple, and this is the tattoo frame, okay. So at the front here we will see a hole. This is where the tube and the needle arrangement will go. So on the side of the tube hole is the tube clamp, okay, the tube clamp. So you want to just loosen this up slightly so that we can slide the tube into the hole. So we're going to take our machine in my right hand and I'm going to take the tube and the grip in my left, and we are going to carefully slide the two together. Okay, so here we have them slided into place. We are going to tighten up the tube clamp just slightly so that it doesn't fall apart. We're going to adjust it later, so you don't want to tighten it too much, just so you can play with the needle here. So this is the needle, the end with the loop. You want to make sure that the whole of the loop is on your left hand side, okay, so the loop of the needle will come round into a loop that you can loop over the nipple. One side will have a slight hole on it. You need to keep that to the left hand side so that the needle is the right way up. Okay, so the needle is the right way up. So we're going to take the end of the needle and we are going to carefully slide it over the plastic nipple here. Okay, and we can push down the loop so that it's safely secured onto the armature bar and the nipple. There we go. Perfect. Great. So now we have the needle attached to the armature bar on the plastic nipple, and it's going straight through the grip and the tube. So now we must adjust the grip so that the needle comes out the right length. This is known as the slide. So if you push your armature bar forward, you will see how much the needles go forward, okay, so right here. What you want is so that the needle is right on the tip of the tip, okay, so you don't want it to go out and you don't want it to be far in, you want it right on the edge, so you can loosen up the clamp so that you can slide your tube and your grip arrangement so that the needle is right on the edge, okay, the needle is right on the edge. Once you have that, you can tighten it up and you can test it using the armature bar. You can push this forward, okay, and the needle will come out and you can see how far forward the needle goes. So this is perfect, and once you have it, you can tighten it up. Only use your hands, don't use any tools for this. Hands tightening is fine. And there we are, perfect. We have one fully arranged tattoo machine and the needle arrangement. Great. So just for added security, you might want to use a rubber band. Okay, these are our rubber bands. I'm going to slide this over our needle and main body over the coils, okay, so this is just going to secure the needle down so that it doesn't wobble too far up and down and it doesn't wobble too far side to side. One elastic band should do, but if you find that it's still wobbling, you can reach for another one and you can use two, okay, you can use two if you wanted to, but one should do. Great, so this is pretty much our finished tattoo machine. All we need to do now is attach it and give it some power, okay, so I'm just going to put this down and I'm going to reach for my silicone clip, okay, clip cord. So on one side it will have a jack and on the other side it will have these two clips, okay, these two clips. So to start with, we're going to take our two clips and we're going to attach it to the tattoo machine. On the bottom of the machine you will see the frame of the machine will have a hole, and right next to that you will see this rear binding post here, okay, and on the rear binding post there is another hole, okay, two very small holes. They're quite difficult to see, but you will be able to see them, okay. There's a small hole here and a small hole on this rear binding post. So we're going to take the clip cord, okay, and we're going to put one clip in the frame and one clip in the rear binding post. Wonderful. There we go. Okay. So we have our clips in our machine. Perfect. So we will put that down for now, and then we will take our jack and we will put it into our power supply. Okay, this is our power supply here, and on the bottom of the power supply we will see a mark saying machine. Okay, this is very clear, and we can slip our jack into the machine, and this is where it goes, right here. Very simple. You'll notice that there is nothing on the screen at the moment. That's because we haven't plugged it in. So we have a power supply cord, and this will go where it says power, okay, on the left hand side. There's another hole just underneath. Slide that in and it all lights up. So on the power supply we will see a sign that says volts. We have amps, speed, duty, and there's also a stopwatch on there as well, so you can time it. Also on here on the left hand side you'll see it says liner, but as we're using a shader machine today, you want to push this S and it will switch to the shader. If you're using a liner machine, you will hit L for liner, S for shader. Great. So also we have our foot pedal. Okay, this is what we're going to use to control the power. This also has to be attached to the power supply. So we will take the jack cord for foot pedal and attach it underneath where it says pedal. Okay, there's a sign here, it says pedal, and directly underneath it is where that jack will go. So we have power, machine, and pedal. Okay, there is another one here for rotary machine as well. As we've seen earlier, we have the rotary machine. This has a different type of power, but we will talk about that in a moment. So that's great. So I'll just move this back a little bit. Comes in a handy stand. So let's see if the tattoo machine is all powered up. So if it's all working correctly, you should take the foot pedal and push it, and it should start working. But as we can see, nothing is happening. We are hitting our foot pedal and nothing is happening. Okay, so first thing, if nothing happens, we will look to our power supply. The power cord is in, the machine is connected, the foot pedal is connected, but it's still not working. So what do? So we need to look at our machine. We need to see this contact screw here. Okay, this contact screw needs to be touching the front spring. Okay, if they are not touching, then the power isn't getting to the machine. So we need to screw this screw right here, this contact screw, so that it's touching the front spring. You don't want to screw it too much, otherwise it will affect the needle. But just so it is touching. Let's try it again. Yeah, there we go. You will hear it working. Let's do it a little bit more. There we go, that's what we need. Okay, you will hear the tattoo machine working correctly, and it's all powered up. At the moment it is on 4.8 volts. Okay, so when you push the foot pedal, you will see the needle coming out of the tip. Okay, so you might have to adjust this a little bit, because at the moment the needle has slipped a little bit further forward. So we will undo the grip and we will slide this a little bit further forward so that the needle is where we want it to be. We want it to be right at the edge of the tip. So I'll tighten that up again. Try it again. And there we go, that's perfect there. Okay, so we have our needle, it's moving back and forward, and this is what's going to go into the skin when we're tattooing. So yeah, we can adjust that some more. Tighten it up so it's nice and tight. And great, that is one fully put together tattoo machine. That's all you need to do. So we have a power supply, the main body, and the needle. Great. So next, what I'm going to do is, this was our shader machine. I'm going to quickly show you our liner machine. Okay. So we are going to undo the clip cord, and I'm going to put this to one side. Okay, I'm just going to put it over here. And next, okay, so we have successfully completed our shader machine, but now we are just going to take a quick look at our liner machine. Okay, this is pretty much the same setup as the shader machine, but the spacing of the armature bar is a little bit smaller. Okay, a little bit smaller. We use the same plastic nickels as before, okay, but the only difference is we would use a different tip. Okay, we'd use a different tip. So with the liner machines, we would make sure we use the liner tip. Okay, there's a smaller hole, and we need to match up the liner tip with the liner needles. Okay, liner needles. You will see that it might be RL. Okay, RL for liner. For liner tip, liner needles, and we will need to match it all together. Okay, but very simple. It attaches as before. It powers the same as before. We have one small hole in the frame, and we have one small hole in the rear binding post. Okay, so the clip cord for the power will attach the same. The silicon clip cord. Okay, will attach the same. Okay, very simple. Great. So this is the liner machine. finally, we might have a rotary machine. Okay, this is our rotary machine. This has a different power arrangement. Okay, has a cord hole in the back, and you will find a bright blue cord in your kit. Okay, it looks like this, and when powering it up, you will use this end here. Okay, this jack will go in the bottom, and then on the other end you will find another cord, another jack. And on your power supply, you will see at the bottom on the right, you will see a sign that says R machine, rotary machine. So you can plug this in here. Okay, and if you have two machines attached, you can quickly switch between the rotary machine and the machine by pressing this button here. Okay, it will switch from machine to rotary machine. Okay, there is that rotary machine, the blue light. Press it again, it goes back to your ordinary machine. Okay, that's just if you're using the rotary machine. Great.